I was waiting on this episode. I knew an episode like this was coming based off the trailers and based off of the scenes from this episode that was inside the trailers. I knew we were going to get a storyline centered over Polaris, aka Lorna Dane. That's her real name. And it came. It's here. X-Men 97, Season 2, Episode 6. This might be one of my favorite episodes from the season, and it's been a beautiful season. I've enjoyed every single episode, but the fact that they centered Polaris, I'm happy. I love Polaris. She's not in my top 5, but she's most definitely in my top 10, and I'm gonna have to do my top 10 favorite X-Men in a future video for you guys. But I was so ecstatic that we got Polaris. I love this episode so very much. So let's go ahead and get into the review. Look at the shirt that I'm rocking. The Queen, Lorna Dane, because she is the GOAT. She is the GOAT. I absolutely love her. Theme song. So the episode opens up with Charles Xavier. He is utilizing the Danger Room because he is reenacting the scene of Magneto being killed by Apocalypse in front of him. Obviously, Charles Xavier is not taking the death of Magneto very well. He keeps asking the Danger Room to rewind the scene, play it again and again and again and again. I'm assuming this is like therapeutic for him. Honestly, I don't care. I legit don't care. Magneto got killed, so what? Don't bring him back. Charles Xavier, get over it. Let's move on. Sheesh. So then the next scene, we see the Purifiers. I'm like, wait a minute. They brought the Purifiers in X-Men 97. See, you guys are aware of the Friends of Humanity. You guys are aware of the Sentinels. You guys are aware of Bastion. But if you don't read no X-Men comic books, y'all have no idea who the Purifiers are. Just a quick summary. The Purifiers, they are a bunch of racist evangelicals. They are the worst of the worst. They are all human beings being ran by William Stryker, and they hate mutants. I'm not even saying that like, oh, everybody hates mutants. No. They hate mutants. They will murder mutants at the drop of a dime. It does not matter if a mutant is 100 and something years old and is elderly, or it does not matter if the mutant is an infant, or it does not matter if they mistake a human being for being a mutant. They do not care. The Purifiers are literally one of the worst X-Men villains you would ever run across of. I will have to do a whole separate video about the Purifiers, but just know they are terrible. They are absolutely terrible. So we see the Purifiers in this scene. They are on a boat. They're on a transport. It looks like they're trying to move some cargo around and report back to their leader. And then we see Polaris. Polaris is wearing her X-Factor uniform, so we can assume she is on a mission for the X-Factor to take down the Purifiers. And I just want y'all to notice this. The Purifiers, they attack first.
I order you to stand down. Bargain with mutants? Never!
I'm telling you guys, the Purifiers, it is on sight. If they see a mutant, they are already going to fire their guns. They hate mutants. So the Purifiers, they attack first, and it means nothing to Polaris because for those that may not know, Lorna Dane, she is the daughter of Magneto. She has the same exact power set as Magneto. She controls electromagnetism. So it's like whatever guns that they're firing at her, it means nothing. She takes them down with ease. So Valerie Cooper, she gets on the radio and it's like, bitch, shut the up. I don't want to see or hear from Valerie Cooper ever again. I'm going to keep re-emphasizing this over and over and over again. Valerie Cooper was teamed up with both Bastion and Mr. Sinister in season 1. And she got away with it. She got away with being a helping hand in turning innocent people into humanoid sentinels. And now she's working with the government with the formation of X Factor. She has a lot of audacity. I hate Valerie Cooper. I'm sick of her. I'm sick and tired of Valerie Cooper. So Valerie Cooper, she gets on the radio. She's telling Polaris to calm down. This is supposed to be a recon mission. I needed you to intercept this one thing and get the fuck out of there. Polaris rolls her eyes like, all right, whatever. So she grabs the boat and Polaris proceeds to leave. But again, we're dealing with the purifiers. They don't know when to quit.
There is no escaping the final judgment.
They see that Polaris is leaving. And mind you, they are all in the water because she pretty much drowned the boats that they were on. So instead of shutting the fuck up, you hear the purifiers antagonizing Polaris, calling her a mutant heathen, and still firing their guns at Polaris. It pisses Polaris off. She splits the boats in half and she drops the boats on their asses. Now, it's very important to note, the purifiers, they are seen accepting death. They got their arms spread wide open as this big ass boat is coming at them. I want you guys to know this. The purifiers, they do not fear death. Their mindset is, if they don't fear death, then why the fuck will we fear mutants? So even though Polaris in this moment is ready to draw blood and drop this big ass boat on their asses and straight up kill them, they accept their fate. They're just like, okay, well, if it's our time, it's our time. So that is why you see the purifiers accepting their fate. They do not fear death. So then the rest of the X Factor, they intervene. We see Alex come in. He shoots down the boat and it just busts out into bits and pieces spreading all over the ocean, saving the purifiers, even though they don't deserve to be saved, but whatever. So then in the next scene, we see that Valerie Cooper, she is reprimanding Polaris for being so impulsive and being so violent. She had one job. She was supposed to go in, recon, and recover whatever equipment X Factor was acting for. But instead, Polaris took matters into her own hands and she almost killed the purifiers. But then on top of that, Polaris' actions made the national news. So to the American people that's watching television, they see a mutant attacking humans for no damn reason. There's no contest as to why they are seeing Polaris take down the purifiers. They just see a powerful raging mutants going after a bunch of human beings. So Valerie Cooper, she had to fire Polaris from X Factor because she told her that she is a liability. In this conversation, Valerie Cooper keeps bringing up the fact that Polaris is impulsive, she doesn't care, and she's acting like her father, Magneto. Then we get a brief scene between Alex and Lorna. They're in the locker room and she's just saying bye to everybody. And Happy's like, well, you know, you didn't have to do this. And she's like, yes, I did. The purifiers, there are terrorists. They hate mutants. They will murder mutants at the drop of a dime. I did what needed to be done. And so they have a little bit of back and forth and Polaris is just like, okay, I'm out. And the reason why I wanted to highlight this moment is because in the comics, it is very well known that Polaris and Havoc, they are a couple and they've been together for so many years. But in my personal opinion, I feel like a lot of X-Men writers have done Polaris wrong in the past because 90% of her characterization is her being behind Alex. They never had Polaris as a character stand alone. It was either she was always mind controlled as a villain or she was just a girlfriend to Alex Summers. And it's just like, damn, can we like dive deep into Polaris lore and expand it? Make her be a respected character, just like Storm, just like Jean, just like Emma Frost, just like any other X-Men woman. So I love the fact in X-Men 97, it does not seem like Alex and Lorna are a couple. And I love that because for the remainder of the episode, it is all about Polaris and it has nothing to do with her relationship with Alex Summers, aka Havoc. So I'm glad that they kept this conversation brief. I'm glad that they kept this interaction between them brief. And I'm glad it just stayed at this one scene and we did not see Alex Summers ever again in the rest of the episode. So I can't complain.
Tell the others bye for me.
You got someplace safe to crash?
Oh, didn't you hear? Mutant strays have a place to run away to again.
In the next scene, we see that the X Mansion is back open, and Charles Xavier, he is having an assembly, and he is letting everybody know that the school is back open. We will be functioning as an institution, but Charles Xavier, he reveals that the X-Men have been outlawed by the United States government. And I'm pretty sure, 90% sure, that Valerie Cooper had a big hand in making that decision happen. On the bright side, Charles Xavier, he decides to name Storm as the official headmistress of the Xavier Institute. Perfect. Storm is literally like the perfect person to lead anything. So congratulations to my girl, Storm. So as Charles Xavier is continuing his speech with the students, we see a Sentinel attack.
But remember, danger lurks everywhere.
Why am I highlighting this moment? This moment is a direct reflection from the comics, because in the comics, the person that does this is Emma Frost.
Of any kind will never be tolerated. So, what have we learned?
And the purpose behind this method is to provide realism, to let the students know, like, yes, you guys are mutants. Yes, you guys are in a safe sanctuary, but I want you guys to know the real that we go through as mutants. So yes, as you can see, you are here, you are safe, you are among friends, but things like this happen. You can get attacked at random, and that attack may cost you your lives. So just the fact that they pulled that from the comics, this is from Astonishing X-Men, written by Josh Whedon. You guys need to tap in and read on those. That was just so dope. That was just absolutely dope, and only X-Men comic readers would have picked up on that moment. So then we see Polaris. She returns back to the X-Mansion. She is looking around. Her room is already made. It's intact. She has all her pictures, all her belongings. We see a picture with her and Iceman. Her and Iceman used to date before Iceman turned gay. Oh, Bobby Drake. I have a whole video about Bobby Drake coming soon. Shout out to Iceman. But also we see pictures of Polaris with Jean Grey and Storm. And then we see another picture of Polaris with the original 5 X-Men. And all of this makes sense because Polaris, she is literally, in the comics, the second woman to be an X-Men. The first one was Jean Grey. The second was Polaris. And the third was Storm. These were the first 3 women of the X-Men. So just seeing these pictures of her and the first 5 original X-Men is so dope. And then we see Jean and Bees and Scott come in, and I just love the chemistry. Even though it was only like a couple of seconds, it just feels like no time has passed since Polaris has left the X-Men. And Polaris, she is back, a part of the family. And so we see Polaris, she's with Charles Xavier. They are sitting down, having tea, talking, catching up. And it is very important to note in this scene that Polaris does not grieve Magneto.
We may be blood, but that man is not my father. You were the one who raised me. Oh, he was too busy off raising hell.
In this moment, blood means absolutely nothing to Lorna because she doesn't have a relationship with Magneto. She said her father figure was Charles Xavier, not Magneto. And honestly, it's quite pathetic, meaning Magneto. He's really full of shit because, sir, how are you able to establish a relationship, an intimate relationship with Rogue, who is literally around the same age as your daughter, Lorna? Yuck! Yuck! How are you able to establish an intimate relationship with Rogue, but you can't even have a father relationship with your own blood daughter? That doesn't make any type of sense whatsoever. Instead of you being a father, you wanted to be the big bad mouth of the mutant community. And your own daughter doesn't even claim you. She doesn't even grieve you because y'all don't have a relationship. That's so pathetic of Magneto. That's why I'm very sick and tired of y'all with this whole, oh, Magneto's right. Oh, Magneto is this grand ass character. Magneto is better than Charles Xavier. Magneto is full of shit. He is full of shit. His own daughter that he does not have a relationship with, she does not care that this nigga died. Magneto is full of it. So then all of a sudden, there is an incident. One of the students has been severely injured by the Danger Room. And so everybody rushed to see what's going on, and it is Wing. Wing is on the floor. His heart rate is dropping. They're trying to make sure they can still feel his pulse, and he's dying. And it's like, well, what the hell is going on? This is also a callback to the comics. As I mentioned earlier, Astonishing X-Men, written by Joss Whedon, because Wing is the boy in the comics that was murdered by the Danger Room. Now, in X-Men 97, I don't know if he's murdered. I don't know if that was the direction they were trying to go with. And it's unclear if he was 100% killed or not. They just said his pulse was dropping. But this was just another callback to the comic. And so then we see Bishop. I love Bishop so very much. And like I said in the past reviews regarding Bishop, Bishop is different. Bishop is from a different timeline. His mentality is different. How he talks is different. How he acts is different. He is worse than Wolverine. Everybody thinks that Wolverine is this big, harsh, rude, impulsive, violent person. Wolverine ain't got on Bishop, because Bishop, while he's trying to revive Wing and keep his heart rate going, listen to how Bishop is talking to these kids.
Stop talking, punks. What happened? You all gonna help, or is gawking and staring your mutant power?
Bishop is talking to them like a military drill sergeant. Even Storm says it.
Help, Bishop. He does not know what it is like to be a student here.
But it's important to note in this moment, Polaris and Bishop, they are one and the same. They are both rough around the edges, and they are impulsive, and they are not afraid to kill if they have to. So the fact that they have both Bishop and Polaris working together in this episode, I love it. I love it so very much. The both of them are literally walking mirrors of each other. I love it.
Ease up, tough guy. Their friend nearly died.
No thanks to them. You the X-Factor chick from the news?
Polaris.
So the villain of this episode is Danger. Danger is a sentient being of the Danger Room. So the plan of Danger was to split the X-Men up. They had Morph, Forge, and Storm go to the front of the X-Mansion. Meanwhile, they locked everybody else inside of the Danger Room. That was her plan, was to split the X-Men up so Storm would not have any access to the Danger Room whatsoever, because Storm is literally like one of the most powerful mutants in that damn school. But Danger, she was being real strategic to split these people up. So within the scene, Danger attacks both Polaris, Bishop, and the rest of the students that were caught in the Danger Room with them. And I love this scene so much because, like I said, you can see that Bishop and Polaris, they have the same amount of methods. The shoot first and ask questions later method. They're gonna do whatever they can to protect the people they need to protect, but when it's time to fight, they are not afraid of violent methods. And I love it. I love this fight scene so very much. But after Danger reveals to the both of them that she is the one that's in control, Danger and Polaris, they exchange words, and Danger hits a soft spot.
Doomed to fail, just like your father.
And Lorna Dane, in this moment, she decides to cut loose, and her powers are being emitted everywhere. It got so bad that Bishop had to grab her and was like, yo, you're hurting the students. Chill out. So Danger, she actually decides to assemble some pieces together. She gives herself a brand new body, and she takes down both Bishop and Polaris with ease. So after Polaris and Bishop wakes up from being knocked out, it is revealed that Danger, she took one of the airplanes and she is on her way to Genosha because she wants to fight Charles Xavier. So in Genosha, we see Scott, Jean, and Beast, and they are in their Grant Morrison outfits. I love the leather jackets of black and yellow. They look good. Shout out to the animators. They look amazing. So Danger approaches Genosha, trying to get at Xavier, but she is met with Scott, Jean, and Beast. And so they have to team up in order to take down Danger. I will say with this fight scene with Scott and Jean versus Danger, it was too short.
It's no good. She knows all our moves.
Should allow them to go a couple rounds, like give them more seconds to go at Danger. So then we see Bishop and Lorna, they touch down and they are teaming up with the rest of the X-Men to take down Danger. Now I would like to say in this moment, I love the power combination between Jean and Lorna. That was just so dope. You have Jean and her telekinesis, and then you have Lorna and her electromagnetism. And it was just so good to see the both of them, two very powerful mutants, going after Danger. I love that. Like, this was a fun fight scene. Like I said, we should have had a couple more seconds of Jean Scott versus Danger, but that's okay because Lorna, they are giving Danger the business. They was like, look, bitch, you caught us off guard at the X Mansion. It's time for us to get our lick back. Then Charles Xavier tells Lorna, like, listen, I need you to do what Magneto would do in order to take down Danger. And Lorna's like, Charles, you know I do not have any type of connection, memories, emotions to Magneto. My own father did not even tell me how to properly utilize my powers. I learned how to control my powers from you. So Charles, he utilizes his telepathy to feed Lorna any type of memories regarding Magneto, showing how to use his powers. So with Lorna gaining the exposure and being downloaded with the skills of how to properly expand her electromagnetic powers, she takes down Danger. Give my girl her tens. Yes, she needed assistance from Charles Xavier, but it's fine. Because like I said earlier, she does not have a connection to Magneto. She doesn't even consider Magneto to be her dad. Magneto had a clear-cut opportunity to show Lorna how to utilize her powers and step into her full potential. But he didn't do that. So that's why Charles Xavier had to feed Lorna all the memories of Magneto utilizing his powers in the past. And that helped her to expand her own powers and take down Danger. It was so dope to watch. Shout out to this episode. I loved it so very much. So then Charles Xavier, he decides that he is going to turn Genosha into X corporations. Because since Genosha is still considered a country recognized by the United Nations, Charles Xavier is like, listen, my X-Men are outlawed in the United States, they can't be outlawed in the country of Genosha. And this pisses Valerie Cooper off.
If Charles Xavier thinks that he can skirt federal laws by reestablishing his X-Men overseas, he should be prepared for the blowback.
Bitch, I don't care. I would say that Valerie Cooper is acting like a big ass mouthpiece towards the government, but honestly, I think this is just all her doing. I think she's just utilizing the government's name, saying like, oh, the full force of the government is gonna crash down on you just because she has access to governmental federal power. But we have not heard from any other politicians. We have not heard from the president himself. We're just hearing from Valerie Cooper. So she feels some type of way about Charles establishing X Corp. Oh well, go to hell. So then we thinking like the episode is over, but in a shocking turn of events, we see Apocalypse. And Apocalypse, he is seen over a dead body. You remember what I said back in episode 2? When Psylocke invaded that horseman's mind and we saw Apocalypse taking out a black casket. Well, now we know who is in that black casket. It is Gambit. Gambit has been revived. He is now a horseman of Apocalypse. And is about to get so damn real. This was such a dope ass episode. We got an episode solely centered around Polaris, Lorna Dane. We got so many moments of both Bishop and Polaris working together because they're like the guy and girl versions of each other. It's so cool. And then we got the return of Gambit. Gambit is back. Things are about to get so real. I don't know what Rogue is going to do when she sees Gambit, but baby, this is episode 6. We got 3 more episodes to go. This was good. This was a good ass episode. I loved it. Yes, because it had Lorna Dane. Yes, I'm a big stan of Lorna Dane. But everything else in this episode was just so dope. It was just so dope to watch. I enjoyed every single second. Shout out to my girl, Lorna Dane. Polaris, she is the best. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about episode 6. What did you like? What didn't you like? Sound off in the comment section. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. X-Men 97, Season 2, Episode 7. Things are about to get real. Peace.